everybody, welcome to Savi's Palette. My name is Savita and today I'm going to be sharing with you all this really fun recipe for a very tasty, spicy snack which is very typical to Karnataka where I come from. And this snack is called Muchoore and it's typically made with rice flour and other dhal flours. Today I'm going to show you a version where I use jowar flour or sorghum flour along with the rice flour, and it is very similar to another fried dish called chakli, but this is more spicier and it's more broken into pieces instead of neat circles. I make this very often. It's one of our favorite in my house. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go over the ingredients and the measurements as I add it. Plus I'll also list the ingredients and the measurement in the description. We'll start by adding 1 cup of rice flour, 1 cup of besan or gram flour, 1 cup of jowar flour or sorghum flour, and the jowar flour I typically use is this one. Get them in your local Indian stores. Alright, now let's add up all the spices. I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoon salt. We can add the salt later if we think it's needed. Half teaspoon Asafoetida or hing. We'll add 3 teaspoons of sesame seeds. 1 teaspoon Cumin seeds. 1 teaspoon of Ajwain or Om. Finally, I like to add curry leaf powder. This is optional, you don't need to. So I just add about 1 teaspoon of curry leaf powder. So let's give this all a quick mix. To this, I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of hot oil. It's pretty hot and boiling, so we're just going to add 4 tablespoons of this hot oil. I use regular vegetable oil for frying. Mix this up with the oil. At this point, you will have to use your hands to get a good mixture. And you saw me add asafoetida, and the asafoetida I add is more like a raisin. It's kind of thicker and almost semi-solid. And you're welcome to add any type of asafoetida powder. I have mixed this nicely with the oil. So if I press the flour together, it kind of forms a ball. So the oil is well blended, and now we're going to add water. This is just regular room temperature water to make the final dough. And the key here is you don't want it to become too soft. It's going to stick to the chakli maker, and you don't want it to be too hard because you won't be able to easily press it out. To get a perfect dough, you require about 1 to 1.5 cup of water. And as I add my water, I keep mixing it to make sure that I don't add too much. So another half cup. But I'm going to be adding little at a time just so I know it's getting well blended together. Add a little bit more. So as you can tell, it took in about just a little less than 1.5. And see how I want to show you the texture of the dough. It is sticky, as you can see. This seems to be the right consistency. I'm going to give this a quick taste to see if all the flavors are correct. And I know we don't need to adjust any other spices except the salt. This is really good, but you could definitely use another half teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to add half a teaspoon of salt right now and mix it all up. So to make this muchoore, I use a device called a chakli press. And this is used to create many different Indian snacks, especially the deep fried variety. And typically what we do is take this out, and it comes with several different types of insert where you can make either a star shape, noodle shape, or a flat, you know, like a ribbon shape. I like to use a star shape insert for this dish. So it's pretty straightforward. You just put the insert in and lock that. Make sure this is tight because you don't want this to open up. And then we open the top part, unscrew the top part, and this is where the dough will go in. So just to make sure that the dough doesn't stick, we're going to coat this with some oil. So I hold on to the other end so that it doesn't drip, and just a little on the sides, and it'll go ahead and coat. We have the sides completely coated with oil. Next step is to go ahead and fill up this device with the dough, and you just make a log which you think will fit perfectly into this. And I usually leave a gap about ½ inch, and I don't overfill it. So you just make sure it goes in. Take a little bit more. Okay, so there you have it. And now you pull this back, and we're going to close this. Again, make sure this is closed nice and tight. You don't want things, you know, opening up, because you're going to be dealing with very hot oil. Make this tight, make sure everything is tight. And now the press is ready. Let's go to the oil, which is already heated up and ready. Into the hot oil, we're going to just go ahead and press it. There you have it. So don't touch it for about a few seconds, and then you can slowly separate it out. So it's been about a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure the other side also gets cooked equally. So we're going to slowly reverse it. So the key here when you should take it out is when you can see the color and it's nice and brown. And also once these bubbles lessen. As they become less and less, then you know it's completely done. This is almost cooked. I just want to make sure the other side is also completely cooked. And then we can take this out. I always use my electric fryer to do all my frying. It's just so much more convenient. And the advantage with the electric fryer is it maintains the temperature. So every batch you get can be very consistent. So this is ready to be taken out. I just make sure all the oil comes off, and there you go. We'll put it on this paper towel. So typically with the measurements I have given, and with this specific chakli machine I'm using, you get about 4 to 5 such batches. Okay, while the other batches are cooking, I'm going to give it a quick taste, and here's how beautiful the Muchoore looks, the jawar flour Muchoore. So, and it goes really, really well with coffee and tea. So I have my elaichi tea here. So let's give this a quick taste. I'm going to just take a small piece. It's got the perfect crunch. The spices are all just right. If you want it more spicy, you can increase the chili powder. The sesame seeds is kind of a key. It gives a really nice flavor, the Ajwain sesame and the Cumin seeds. And it's definitely gluten-free. Not necessarily low carb, but definitely a healthier carb, because half the rice flour is replaced with the jawar flour. I hope you all get to try this out and let me know how you like it. And please like, share and subscribe to Savi's Palette, and I hope to share more such fun recipes with you. Thanks once again. Bye-bye.